So you ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
You ready to do this? Have you recovered?
Yeah, as much as I'm going to.
Okay. All right, everybody, Jay and Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym and doing our very first 2023 Road to the Olympia with IFBB Figure Pro.
I'm Cleveland.
We just had the biggest surprise of her life. When she came here, she said she had never met my father, AKA the Prez, and that she was always nervous to meet him. So what happened? We were standing here talking, and what happened?
You walked in, and it scared me. I got to meet the Mr. Manion himself. Surprise.
So she's just recovering right now.
Yeah, I was a little thrown off.
This has made my day.
It was made my day. Yeah, didn't expect that opportunity.
All right, so Autumn, you're going back to the Olympia.
Yes, and I'm very excited this time because I feel like I can actually prepare for it.
You want to explain that further?
Yeah, last year was such a lot was up in the air with trying to qualify through points. And on that last show, I actually didn't know if I was going to stay at the top of the points list or slip down. And it was very stressful. And so I didn't even expect the Phoenix win, which was 6 weeks from the Olympia.
Right.
So everything was just so fast paced and such a blur that it was sort of hard to enjoy the process. So I did get to chill after the Rising Phoenix and kind of collect myself and try to go into the Olympia with a good headspace. But it was just show after show after show, things get kind of confusing.
So where did you qualify for this year's Olympia?
At the Chicago Pro, which was also a surprise. I didn't really expect to. I didn't know if I was going to do that show. So about 5 or 6 days out, I decided I was going to do it. And I didn't even expect to win. Yeah, I had done Vancouver and gotten second. And I questioned if I should try again or just call it a year. And so I just took that leap. I talked to my people. They got me in a good headspace. And I thought, I'm just going to try it just to better my package, see what I could bring in the details, take the pressure off of myself from qualifying. I did not expect to win, especially with the winner from the previous weekend being there. I was like, we'll see. So that was
But I think, like you said, no pressure because you weren't planning on doing it.
Right. And I think that's...
So it wasn't in your head?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I had in my head before I went to Phoenix, that I wasn't going to focus so much on qualifying. I was going to focus more on self-betterment and enjoying my experience. And those are the only 2 times I've won is when I took that off of myself. There
you go. I think that's what you got to do moving forward. Just decide a week before, hey, I'm going to jump this up.
I'll just slap a tan on and show up on stage.
Why not, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
All right, so how did you get into lifting?
Long story short, I was very small and thin, and I got bullied in high school. And so my dad took me to the gym because I wanted to stand up for myself, just feel better in my clothes and feel like I wasn't going to get jumped easily. And so that's where it started. That was like 2003, I think. My dad was a police officer, so I just went to the gym with him after he got off work and started training. And then I met a female bodybuilder in 2004 and went to go watch her show. And that was my entrance into the sport. That was the first time I'd seen a show. And then I just thought, I'm going to give that a shot, see if I'm any good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been competing for 20 years since.
So what was the first contest that you did?
The very first show that I did was the 2004 Northern Kentucky, which had gone away for a few years, but now it's back under your unit, thankfully. So that was my first experience, and I think I had just turned 16, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Wow.
All these beautiful women backstage with all that muscle maturity, and I had a friend, and she showed me how to stand to kind of mimic a pose, and she explained like the training process. I didn't know what a diet was then. I was eating Arby's.
Without the bun?
No, I had chicken cordon bleus and Pop-Tarts and like things.
So you laid off the sauce, is that it?
Nah, I had the sauce.
You had the sauce too.
With that metabolism, I enjoyed all of it. That changed in my 20s. So I didn't know what a diet was. She took me to a store to get the shoes.
So you basically trained yourself?
Training with my dad. And I worked out with some officers from where he worked. And so they at least got me to a point where I could build some muscle. And then my friend did like a little peak week thing for me. After that, she ended up coaching me for several years more seriously. But in the beginning, I was trying to find out where I belonged in the world, and stage it felt like a safe place for me.
Right.
So I thought, I'm just going to try it. No other high school kids are doing this, and it was my escape from high school. And it turned into one of
those kids that bullied you, did you ever go back to them and say anything?
I like to think that they've learned their lessons without me having to say anything. I like to show people.
Okay.
So, thanks to them, I'm where I'm at now.
All right. And they're probably nowhere now, right?
I don't know. I'm going to pay attention. They haven't earned my respect enough to pay attention now.
I like that.
Yeah, moving forward.
So now that the Northern Kentucky's back, you think Garrett should rename it the NPC out of Cleveland, Northern Kentucky?
I don't know if that has a good ring to it.
I don't know. I think it's something we should bring up in North America.
We'll ask him. We'll ask Gary
Next week.
what he says.
We'll put him on the spot. Kind of like how you were just put on the spot before.
Yeah, we'll ask Gary.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Gary, what do you think of this name?
I think it's a good one.
Well, if you like it, then that's all that matters.
Okay, so let's start with something funny. Your last name, because of your last name, everyone thinks you're from Ohio, right?
Yes. Everyone thinks that I'm from Cleveland, and I've never been there. And and I also don't watch sports. So immediately they want to start talking about Cleveland sports, and I have no idea what they're talking about.
I am nowhere near there.
I've never been, I'm not associated with it, I don't know anything about their teams. That's the very first thing. It happens a lot, and it's funny because I never want to be rude, but sometimes I just pause for a second and just see if they're going to connect the dots. Sometimes I just have to say, hey, I've never actually been there.
I remember one time I was kind of goofing with you. You got a little snarky with me. And you said, you do know what state I'm from, don't you? And I go, yeah, Kentucky. Kentucky. And you went, oh. I know. I really got a little snarkiness that day.
I get snarky sometimes. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. You're like the only one that knows that.
Yeah. You're probably one of the few people that actually know where I live.
Yeah.
But it's all fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was fun for me because you just totally stopped talking for a second.
I didn't know you were serious.
Like, damn, he knows where I'm from.
Yeah.
You go, where? And I go, Kentucky. And you went, oh.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else to report with. You knew the answer.
Snarkiness went right out the window.
Yeah, I had no backup. That's funny.
See, you probably don't remember that conversation, but I do.
I remember vaguely some of these conversations, but we've seen each other in so many different settings. It's hard to think of where.
But I've always remembered that because it was just you really thought you had me.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you were wrong. You're beyond confidence.
Yeah, and you killed my confidence with a correct answer. Then how was I going to roast you? I had no idea.
Right. All right. So another thing people I don't know if they realize is you're an artist.
Yes.
And when did you start doing this in school or?
I'm really young. I want to say like five or six is when I first started exploring it. And I always took art classes in high school and college, but around, I think mid-college, that's when I was really getting more into exercise science. And I had to make a choice if I was going to apply to the School of Art or pursue exercise science. And I actually didn't think that I was good enough to get accepted into the School of Art, so I didn't try. And then I just kind of shut everything down for like 8 years. And then my boyfriend now, Derek, he just encouraged me to open that back up. And so it just came flooding back in a crazy way that I've been blessed to have these really awesome connections through art. I've got to meet some really amazing people. I've got to do some really cool portraits and like really meaningful things. So that's given me a good balance with bodybuilding because bodybuilding is so isolated sometimes. And now I get to connect through art, but art also helped me see bodybuilding better. So I like to have the mix of both. Right now I have to focus on the Olympia, which takes a lot of my energy. So art is on pause for now, but I'll come back to it.
And then you're also doing DJ.
Yes, I do like to DJ.
And how did that start?
Actually, it's just like I guess it was like 7 years ago. Derek just asked what I would want to do if I wasn't a bodybuilder. And I don't know why that popped into my head, but I thought DJing, I've always really enjoyed music. I used to play piano when I was little. Music gets me through life. And so I just thought like, I want to provide that for other people. Like to me, music is an experience. And he got me the equipment and I started to learn, but I called myself a closet DJ because I was also nervous that I wasn't going to be good at it, and couldn't find anybody to teach me how to do it. So I don't have a mentor. I've never had lessons, and so I didn't know if I was good enough to play the public. And so now it's crazy because I got to do the NPC women's workshop last year, and that was a big deal for me because that was the first time my two worlds meshed. So I always admire all the DJs at the shows, like Freddie and Bretsky and DJ Shannon. I love her. So it's cool. It's cool when I'm on stage and I can also appreciate the DJ, what they're doing as I'm performing and posing.
Right.
And they just pick like the best songs that hit, and that just makes my whole competition experience better. So
Now, when she was doing the NPC National Women's Seminar, she was behind her thing. All I saw was this. I thought she was getting into the music.
I was.
Come to walk around and tell them what you were actually doing.
So I have a mini trampoline, because I don't get to go out and dance often. And if I'm going to play music for other people, I want to be able to enjoy it too. So I just set up my mini trampoline and I jump on it while I DJ. One day I'm going to learn some really cool tricks like a backflip or something and throw it in there and really shock people.
Yeah.
Shake his head. Not a good idea. But yeah, that's my
You never know.
DJ on a trampoline.
Yeah, I thought she was like so into the music, it's just bounce, bounce, bounce. I'm like, yeah, she's going with the beat. Little did I know. I walked around, I went, oh, what is that?
Well, that's a tool too. If I can't jump to it, then girls can't dance to it. So it helps me control the pace.
We all know guys can't dance, it doesn't matter, right?
We don't know. If I can get a guy to dance, that's like a huge accomplishment.
We all need the trampoline, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We just had all the trampolines. Everybody had a good time.
So it's really cool, though. I mean, that your stuff outside of the industry is now coming into the industry. And I know you're doing some artwork for some people's contests and stuff, right?
Yes, I got to do that was cool. Actually, I've never done that before, but for the Bluegrass Kentucky show coming up in October, I got to do a portrait for like the I think the flyers of it. So I've always loved drawing bodybuilders. Obviously, like this is what I like. And so that was another way that my worlds collided, that I got to do that piece. So I'm excited to see how that goes down, like where it's shown.
Well, I think it's going to be everywhere, right?
I don't know.
It has to be.
I don't know where it's going to be. I hope they like it. There's like 3 people that I tried to, I didn't get to spend as much time on it as I wanted to for the features, but hopefully people will recognize who they are as who I was drawing for the subjects. But
Okay, we'll leave the mystery so everybody can see.
Yeah.
And then go to her Instagram page and let her know what you think.
Yes.
You gonna put it on your Instagram page?
Yeah.
All right, put it in the comments section. I want to see that thing blow up.
I'm gonna tag you in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll see if the people who I drew actually recognize it.
Yeah.
That's the real test. If someone I'm drawing a portrait of recognizes themselves, I'm like, okay, I did a good job.
So, and the nice thing is on Instagram, you can have music too.
I can. Yeah.
See?
I can DJ that.
Yeah.
Make a mix.
Now, listen, if people want to get hold of you for artwork, for DJing, where do they go?
Really, Instagram is the best place. It's Automatic is my Instagram name, how I say it, even though other people pronounce it differently.
How do they pronounce it?
I'm not sure. At least I've heard Atumnik, and I can't even pronounce some of the things people have said. But I do that with other people's names too. I read their name and then I formulate some sound what I think their name is like, and then I'm way wrong. But it's AUTUNNATIKK.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's unique.
Thank you.
When are you gonna get shirts with that?
I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. Maybe for the Olympia, we'll see.
Okay. All right. So, just talking to you, it seems like you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
Absolutely, because who else is going to?
So, how much pressure are you putting on yourself for the Olympia?
A lot.
You've been there before.
I have, but it wasn't under ideal circumstances. So now this Olympia, I get to see myself in a hopefully full form of health. So after the last Olympia, I got food poisoning the day before, so I did not bring the best look. And even when I was trying to assess my own pictures, I couldn't look at that and be okay with it.
Right.
So going into this Olympia, I just want to see what I can do with my physique between winning Chicago Pro and then to bring in a totally improved package and just be able to perform feeling good, because I did not feel good. So this is more of a test for myself to see where I actually fall, so that I can use that for the future reference of beating that next package. But looking back at the 2022 Olympia, I have to have a little bit of forgiveness and grace with myself, because I can't be too hard on myself for that, even though I'm analytical. That's naturally what I do. So really, I want to blow it out of the water this year for myself.
Well, good. Well, hopefully you do.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now, are you training with anybody? Like, do you have a trainer?
No, I have my coach Shane, and he lives in Utah, so he writes out like my diet protocols. But I just train. I train how I know to set up things for my body to bring up my weak points, and I'm a prep coach, and so the same protocols I would use for my clients, I apply for myself.
So you can actually train for the Olympia without a trainer?
Yes, it's possible. I still run things by Shane to make sure he agrees.
Right.
But that's what I really love about working with him is it's more of a collaboration. And so he'll tell me if he doesn't think something's a great idea, or if he thinks like, yeah, we can try this. And so it's nice to have creative ideas with support, but then someone to also say like, that's probably not going to work, or maybe that's not the best way to go about it.
So it's a good second set of eyes.
Absolutely. I need Shane. I've prepped myself several times actually, and before Shane, that was the only time I'd ever won a competition, but it was almost tormenting because I couldn't look at myself objectively, and I would mess myself up every time.
Right.
And that's when a mentor of mine came up and said, I think you need a second set of eyes. And then I hired Shane 7 years ago.
Oh, good. So it's a nice long relationship.
Absolutely. We've only gotten better each year. So I'm excited to see what we keep doing.
So this year is going to be the best.
Yes.
All right. So what do you think about it? So now you competed in the Olympia in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's going to be in Florida. What do you think about going to Orlando? I would say going back because we're going back. But
well, I did expedite the Olympia when it was in Orlando, and I loved that setup. So before I competed in it,
right.
I do have that comparison, and I'm excited for it to be in Orlando. I don't know if I'm a Vegas girl. I've been there for the Hooters International Pageant back around like 2007, and then the Olympia. And I think I just like the vibe of Orlando a little bit better outside of the competition part. But I really like the venue, the way it was set up. It was very easy to get around for not just the athletes, but also for the attendees. So I think that'll be nice just to be in Florida in November.
Okay, so I'm not going to let that Hooters thing just slide by.
It's not going to slip by you.
So what were you doing at Hooters? Was it like Miss Hooters International or?
Yes. When I was.
Were you in it?
Yes, 3 times. So when I was 16, I wanted a free gym membership, and I heard that if you worked at Hooters, you could get a free gym membership. So I started as a hostess, and then I graduated to being a server, and I actually enjoyed doing the bikini contest more than I actually liked my job. So I did the calendar from, I think 2000. It was 2006 because I remember my parents actually pulled me out of school one day to go shoot for the Hooters calendar. And I don't know if anyone at the high school knew that, but my parents are really cool.
Priorities.
Yeah, future. So they fully supported it, and I did the calendar, all the local contests, and then the international swimsuit pageant. I think I did like 2006, 7, and 8. But what's interesting is it came to a degree where I was muscular where girls weren't.
Right.
And
so you were in better shape than the models.
It came down to I had to make a decision. Like, was I going to pursue bodybuilding or was I going to stay in this realm? And and so it was nice because the pageantry part prepared me for this part, like the aesthetics and the posing and the walking. I'm very comfortable with that from the Hooters stuff, but I like hard work, and I felt like at least if I could work hard, that would be rewarded. Where otherwise, you're just in this ocean of beautiful women. How do you pick? How do you win? How do you pick one? So it was a tough decision at the time, but I think I made the right decision.
So the other thing I'm taking on this is working at Hooters is not hard work.
It's hard in a way that you wouldn't expect. It was more about remembering your value at the end of the day and the way that people talked. I think it's just restaurant industry, it's easy to get talked down to. And I didn't deal with that very well. I had really awesome managers who would step in if it got rough, but I think any server at the end of the day, no matter what restaurant you're at, has to kind of remember like your value at the end of the day, because you base that a lot off of your interactions with your customers and how you're tipped.
So you're the second person I know that has done the Hooters International and competing as a pro in the IFBB Pro League.
Yeah, which says a lot about the divisions, because Janet can do both. Janet has that perfect body where she has that both aesthetics and the hard work, and that's why I really like that there are different divisions to choose from to see where you fall. So that's really cool that opportunity was there and that she mastered both types of.
Yeah, she won that.
Yeah, which I actually like that. I liked to see more of the muscle tone in the Hooters contests, but Janet just had that perfect mix of everything, and she still carried that over as she.
Yeah, and like 6 weeks later or something, she was in Olympia.
Yeah, which I think, Stephen, that says a lot about the parameters with a bikini, like the marketability,
right?
Just the right degree of leanness, just the right degree of muscle, and then all of the encompassing factors for the.
So funny story, because I was in Vegas and she had won it a couple of days before the NPC USA. So I asked her to stay in Vegas, and I made her do the interviews in her crown.
That's funny. That's cool. And she probably got another crown for winning the Olympia or something, right? Do they do crowns?
I think they do tiaras.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she was like, "For real?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for real. You can interview people wear
it with pride." It's like like the Miss.
Is that what is that? Miss Congeniality?
Yes, it is.
Be the crown. Be the crown. Remember?
Yeah. That's funny.
So, see, this is a fun conversation.
It is fun. Yeah.
I learned more about you now.
Yeah, all kinds of things you didn't know.
Right.
Don't use them against me.
See, my father coming in and scaring you. Just let you just run wild.
Still intimidated to go back out there. He's working out right now, and I'm supposed to go work out next to him.
Yes. I think you might offend him if you don't.
I don't know what to do. I'm afraid he's gonna judge my form.
We won't know until we get there.
No, we'll find out.
All right.
At least he's nice about it.
Yes. All right. Is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to while we're here?
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely my boyfriend Derek. Everybody who is connected with me on social media knows, but we've been together for 11 years, and I would not be who I am and where I am without him. He does so much for me, but he really allows me to be myself, and he empowers me to do that. And then just all my support system. Like, I have a really amazing group of friends, my family. I'm very lucky to have people who want to help me succeed. And then, like, my coach, my sponsors, like Liquid Sunrays and Glam Comp Jewelry, they really take care of me in order for me to be able to perform my best and focus. So I'm grateful for that support. I'll never take it for granted.
Good. All right. So if you want to see Autumn, get your tickets, get to Orlando. Okay?
Get soon.
Yes. Worst case scenario, you can always get the pay-per-view.
Yes.
But it's better in person.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, the energy. The energy is what it's about.
You feel that. You don't feel that through TV.
No. Yeah, if you can make it to Orlando, do it.
All right. So Jay and Manion.
Autumn Cleveland.
Who's from Kentucky. Signing out for NPCNewsOnline.com.